G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in over on the east side of the map, playing as the French, we have got Vortex. On the opposite side of the map, playing as the Delhi Sultanate in the color red, we have got one Puppy Paw. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game that is very, very special. I've got the Aussie Drongo logo up in that top right-hand corner, but I'm going to have to fix that one up. You know why? Because this is Golden League. That is correct. Two of the best players in the world currently battling it out against each other. 15 GMT Saturday and Sunday. So look, by the time this video goes up, there will be Golden League games that are going on the EGC TV channel. So go check it out. Of course, it's going to be Saturday, Sunday, every single week through May. So make sure you go and check it out. But let's talk a little bit about this matchup, a little bit about the way that you play here, because I'm going to be focusing primarily on Vortex, and I want to be watching exactly what he does, because this is a very difficult matchup for the French player. It's very key here that the French player is going to be looking to deny food sources and also focusing on their economy. Realistically, it's probably about like maybe a 45-55 swing, I'd say, probably in favor of the Delhi. The Delhi timing push is very, very difficult to deal with, and the question is whether our French player is going to be in a decent enough position in the mid game to be able to take him. So I would expect that we would see a second town center for Vortex get put down relatively early, but one thing to note is got to be careful right there, Puppy Paw. No villagers jumping inside that town center, but one of the things to note is that Vortex is a very aggressive player, and so for me that means that it's less likely to see, like, if this was Viper, you would expect a second town center, you know, he would be mining stone in transition. That's the difference. Whereas Vortex, he's a very aggressive player, loves to play those feudal ages, and we can see here, he hasn't gone for your standard, and I say standard, I mean, to be honest, this should be called the standard. It's basically like you're rushing to get up as quickly as possible, but we don't actually have that coming out today from Vortex. Instead, what we've got is we've got Vortex, or rather, we don't have the wheelbarrow opening that you would typically expect. Rather, he is rushing it up. Where we go back over to Puppy Paw's base, you can see that he's had a bit of a weird build. And that is because he's delayed the mosque. I'm not sure exactly what's happened over here. Normally you see, maybe it's not a weird build, who knows? But you normally see that mosque coming out immediately, because now basically what it means is, because this mosque is so late, it's 2 minutes late, what that says is that Piety is not going to be able to be researched by the time you get up to the next stage, which means your scholars have got a little bit less health. So if you're getting into big battles, maybe your enemy's got a big archer ball, they're looking to try and pick those scholars off. It's going to be easier for them to do it. So by delaying this, you're going to be delaying having that Piety upgrade. So it's just one of those important things to have, because otherwise it comes in around 10 minutes otherwise, and it makes it a bit harder. But we'll check in over with Vortex. We'll see how he's doing. Before we do that though, we'll check how many sheep we've got here for Puppy Paw. He's got 12 sheep at the moment. Compare that over to Vortex, who has got 11 sheep, and he's obviously been on sheep as well, compared to Vortex, who's been on berries. So I suspect he's probably been up a couple of sheep here. So not a bad little haul there for Vortex. 3 villagers tapping away on the School of Cavalry, quite heavily on gold as well. Now, one of the other things that we could see out of him would be professional scouts. A professional scout opening, look to deny these two deer patches up towards the north. You can see we've got double deer spawn over here for Puppy Paw. This is a really, really nice opening for him. He'll be happy with this, but I'm curious if he's actually spotted out that second one. Ideally, if you do, I'd be even thinking about walling that off. That would be absolutely wonderful. You know, get a nice little wall across here, a little bit of a wall down here, and you are just chef's kiss. You are feeling very good about yourself and your food economy, because then it keeps your berries safe at the back as well. You're not going to have those annoying French raids coming through. You've only got to really worry about one side of your base, and it's down here. So that would essentially be it. But over towards the other side, we now begin to see scout harassment coming down. So we had the scout come down on the gold mine a little bit earlier for Vortex, but now defending back at home. He's got 2 scouts over here going up against the one, and we do have that mill coming down. So it does look like it might be a professional scout opening here for him. You can see the Vortex is trying his best just to get these annoying scouts away, but he's got to be careful not to lose his own scout. You can see he's down to 22 health. One more double tap like that, and he is going to be out of the game. He's going to be so careful. You can see him just in the balance right there, right in the balance, and this sort of early game micro, I'm curious what you guys think about it. Is it something that you guys enjoy? Is it something that you like? I've started getting a little bit better on the ladder. I actually went up against Puppy Paw the other day, and he is incredible when it comes to this early game micro. He's just always attacking you. It's very difficult because it basically says you must do something about this, you know, whether that means that you get a knight out, whether that means you get a horseman. And for me, playing the Chinese, you know, that means that I need to get a barracks out, I need to get a stable out, I need to get something because his micro is that damn good. I can bring my own scouts in, but it's just going to be a constant battle, and you know, one slip up and that's pretty much it. Puppy Paw now reaching the next age as well. We do see wheelbarrow actually going to be the case instead of professional scouts. So no professional scouts coming in today. We've got the second knight coming out, and Puppy Paw going to be backing out. He is he's fearful of those knights, but now at the same time you can see there's a little bit of a bug that was just happening right there. So remember how scouts interrupt? They used to interrupt villagers when they were gathering. Well, they still do that. It's only when they're dropping off though. So if you're trying to drop off a resource to your mining camp, and the scout is hitting you, you won't do it. You actually have to task your villager to move away and then drop off the resource. So that's always something to be very careful of, and we could see the villager was bugging out there. So you just got to be very, very careful with that, because if that does happen, you can be in a world of hurt. You can be in a world of hurt, but it looks like we're going to be having a blacksmith opening here from Puppy Paw. Not going to be a double blacksmith opening just yet. It's going to be stable as well as the barracks that are coming down already. We'll take a look over at the other side of the map. We'll see where Vortex is at, because he is rounding the corner. He's looking to come down towards these berries. You can see there are villagers out there. And in the middle of the map, he picks up a wolf. He's got to be careful of that. He's just going to take it out. It just makes it so much easier. He doesn't have to think about it, because it's going to keep on keeping on. Villager got to be careful. Villager got to be careful. Villager going to be going down, unfortunately. He's got 4 gold in the bag, but oh, look at that. He's got his textiles in. He's playing as the deli. Do not fear. Textiles is here. It's great to see. It's such a strong counter against the French, just because your villagers now all of a sudden have got an extra 50% health. That's massive. That is absolutely huge. And now we actually see Vortex going to be under some pressure here, where Puppy Paw is going to be looking to push out with the Spearman, dish out some damage. At the same time, he's still working on getting those cavalry units out. He's actually got the Spearman working overtime, or rather the barracks working overtime. What is going on for Vortex behind this? What do we have? He's stacking up quite a bit of gold back there. Now switching into archers as well. His macro's looking pretty decent. The first archery range is down. No second archery range just yet, but no sign of a professional scout yet, though I would suspect it would be coming through shortly. We don't actually have any scouts coming out for him. It's going to be another knight. Interestingly, hasn't gone for a second town center yet either, so that's another thing to note. So the way I definitely feel for this matchup is, as France, you're on a timer unless you go for that second town center, in which case, you know, the dynamics become a little bit different here, but you can see the way that Vortex is playing here, looking to apply pressure onto the Deli player from the early game. And we can see the Deli player is making smart moves here. So going just for the melee combination, this is a very strong combo. Works great against the French, but you got to be careful. As soon as they start mixing spears, that's when it becomes a little bit painful, because then you've got no way to deal with the spears, so you've got to get archers yourself, and then it becomes a micro battle. And who likes micro? I like micro. Micro's quite fun, despite my earlier comments. Micro definitely sets the good apart from the great. But now up towards the north, we've got our first outpost of the game coming down for Puppy Paw on that sacred site. Scout still calling out, spotting it out, sees the second archery range, should know that there is some serious business going up here. Also, Scout is sitting on top of the stone outcropping, so he'll know whether there is a second town center in play or not. Behind here, we see a little bit of a raid coming through. The wolf was actually brought in close, and now Puppy Paw going to be in a great spot here as he raids in some of these villagers from Vortex. You can see Vortex was barely out here for 150 food, and Puppy Paw picks it up immediately. He is on top of him very, very quickly, and now back behind that, we see knights moving out to go and look to try and take down this scout in the middle. They are going to be able to take it down successfully. And now back around the other side of the base, we continue to see raids coming through for Puppy Paw. And I do like this play. I think it's actually quite a smart move to take the aggression and put it on the French side of the map. Just because with horsemen, the French is never going to be able to catch you. You can see the knights here. They're going to be able to run back, and they're going to be able to deflect these horsemen. But at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to catch them. They're not going to be able to kill them. And now one knight going to be left to its devices to follow the way it sees fit. For Vortex now, we see double broadaxe coming in. That professional scouts is definitely not going to be the way here, but double broadaxe is now in here for the French player, which means he's going to be looking to focus heavily on that archer production. We'll take a look over at Puppy Paw's side because it's going to be time for him to start moving out onto the map. We can see Sanctity is now researched, yet he is not intent on grabbing any of these sacred sites just yet. I say that, but the Scholar is moving out. So this is going to be the first Scholar that is moving out onto the map. Obviously, he can look to try and capture the sacred sites down to the south, into the middle of the map, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a challenge. This one, uncontested, and that's the reason why he goes there. It's a safe play. It's a high percentage play. Back over on Vortex's side, though, we can see that he is he's doing a little bit of long distance gathering, but you don't really mind. You don't really mind doing a bit of long distance gathering. I just bumped the microphone there. Yeah, you don't mind the long distance gathering if you're hunting. It's not too bad. But now we can see that the Scholar is just being pocketed inside of the outpost for now. We can see that Vortex is trying his best just to try and prevent this from coming down, and now going to be able to pop that inside. And once again, he's going to call these units up here, but we can see Vortex keeping an eye out. He knows where his enemy's units are at, and now he's going to be able to take that sacred site, but delays it at the same time. That's what's important, right? He's delaying the sacred site, so he's delayed it by what? 20, 30 seconds? You're slowing down the gold income of your enemy. Now back on Puppy Paw's side, though. What do we got going on for Puppy Paw? That is the question. Another raid up towards the north. Also, looks like the wolf coming in to defend here. Horseman going to be able to make it away, and I love the way that he's just using 2 horsemen for this. He's just being very annoying, because horsemen, you know, we often joke about horsemen as like a unit that's raiding, quote unquote, but it's not really, because the villagers can just turn around and just absolutely shit on it. And I feel like it's kind of the same thing here, right? Like you're just running your horsemen around, not actually looking to achieve anything tangible. Rather, you're just looking to distract from your enemy. But now down to the south, the sacred site looks like it was just about a second before being captured, and unfortunately, Puppy Paw going to be losing a Scholar there. He's going to be really upset. That was so damn close to picking up that sacred site, but unfortunately, sometimes you hold them, and sometimes you fold them. Wait, no, that's probably not right. I mean, well, technically that is right. Sometimes you do hold them, and sometimes you do fold them. But I don't think that's what makes sense there, Drongo. But nice try, nice try. 5 villagers jumping inside that outpost. They're going to be absolutely safe, but the horsemen actually going to be turning their attention towards it. Going to be calling up knights towards that north side, drawing away the French player. Once again, keep in mind, he's drawing the French player's attention up towards here with these knights. And what is he doing on the south side? He should be looking to take these sacred sites. Scholar moving out. There you go. So that's the way that he's playing. So looking to now siege down that outpost. It doesn't look like it's going to get down. The villagers will pop out, start repairing quickly. But he's done a great job of pulling back these knights. So this is exactly what it's about. And I can't help but feel at this point, it's looking better. The longer this game goes on, it's looking better and better for our Delhi player, because he's able to maintain control of this game, maintain control of the map. That's really important. And now we can actually see he's coming back in for some sloppy seconds. I can't believe I just said that. He's coming back in for some seconds. But there are Royal Knights up there, and these guys have already got their +1 armor, their +1 melee armor. Scholar got to be careful. Doesn't have that extra health yet. We talked about it, didn't we? We talked about it. The piety still coming in. It takes its time. It takes its absolute time to come in. And unfortunately, it is... Did he stop researching it? What happened here? Why is it not... Why is it sitting out like that? Is that bugged? I'm not sure exactly what's happened there, but now we see that the Knights doing a great screen in the center. We enter into the cinematic mode, but there's a lot of archers here. Archers looking to kite away from those spearmen, doing a pretty decent job of taking them out, but they're overkilling them very, very heavily. Knights going to be trying their best to just keep running this screen, but it's looking very good for Puppy Paw. But keep in mind, those French units, they're stronger, they're faster, they're prettier, but they're not better. And unfortunately, it looks like Puppy Paw is able to just roll over the top right now of Vortex, and this is going to be great for him. Rolling over the top of him here means he's able to secure all 3 sacred sites. And this is really what it comes down to as the French, because now you're in a difficult spot. You've tried your best to deny the food. You haven't done it. You've tried your best to deny the sacred sites. You denied one. The second one, it was pretty close. But now, as we get closer towards the French player's base, we can see more reinforcements going to be coming in here. And it looks like at this point, Puppy Paw going to have to fall back. So Vortex manages to scrounge away a few more forces. He actually gets some pretty good trades there at the end, considering that there were no scholars. Had there been scholars in the mix just then, it would have been a different ball game. It would have been an absolutely different ball game. But now more spearmen moving up. Knights got to be careful as they continue to fall back. There's a lot of knights here actually, and as we get closer to the base of Vortex, those reinforcements are going to come in thicker and faster. But behind this, the sacred sites are being taken. We have a look down towards the south. It's still not being taken by Puppy Paw, so a little bit of a mistake right here. And now in the middle, Puppy Paw going to have to fall back from this sacred site. So perhaps the writing was not on the wall. Perhaps the fat lady had not sung. Perhaps the game was not over. But now towards the base of Puppy Paw, we'll take a look and see exactly what he's got going on. Still just going for a single blacksmith here. Normally you would see a double blacksmith, but it doesn't seem to be the case here. Also has yet to get those 2 upgrades in. I'm not sure exactly what's going here. Maybe my UI is bugging out a little bit or something like this. But I mean, his scholars definitely only have... How much health did we have on those scholar? There it is. It should be 130. It should be 130. It should be 90 plus 40. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but now we see the farm transition coming in for Puppy Paw. And this is something that I can't help but feel a little bit concerned about, because he's got a very available hunt up towards the north. He's got relatively decent map control at this point. Vortex now looking to poke in and prod down towards the south. Villagers do indeed make it inside the outpost, but the rest of them going to be heading back towards the town center. Knight's getting some great charges in there, and more units continuing to move down. Vortex behind this. We'll check the villager counts. 45 versus 51, so still relatively even, obviously taking into account that French advantage. But now up towards the north, Vortex got to be careful. Doesn't have that textiles like his opponent. More units continuing to round out. And now Vortex going to get caught with his pants down if he's not careful. There are successful walls up towards the north at least. Not all the way. Not all the way, but he's going to get caught out here. This could be bad. Wolf going to get in on the action as well. We'll have to switch perspective while that Wolf comes in. And now we've got a Castle Age coming through for Puppy Paw. He's utilized the gold from that sacred site, just single-handedly bringing it through. And now we can see that there's a decent mass here of infantry units, and at the same time a little bit of a raid back towards the other hunt. So Puppy Paw doing a great job of just splitting the attention, and indeed Puppy Paw does move out over onto that hunt. A very wise choice. That is exactly the right thing he needs to do here. And we see the quick walls coming in from Puppy Paw to finish off this position, and now the knights are trapped. That is going to be 5 knights going over towards Puppy Paw. He'll be very, very happy with that little pickup. You can see the units moving back, and now that age up coming through. Let's take a look at Vortex and see where he is at. There is no second town center for Vortex at this point. There is no real farm transition that's come in for him. He's got berries available. He's got the hunt available, but other than that, there's not a lot going for him at this point. He's got very heavily stacked up wood as well as gold, and now we can see that villagers are migrating up towards this north side. Going to be looking to pick up a couple of berry bushes up here. We'll take a look at the upgrades that he's got. No horticulture at this point. No specialized pick. We know he's got the double broadaxe. We know that he's got wheelbarrow as well. But very minimal upgrades. But now we know that Vortex is going to be in a little bit of trouble because Puppy Paw, he has got full upgrades coming through. Of course, he's playing the Delhi, a civilization that will always have that upgrade advantage over you, typically most of the time, except for Imperial Age. But even then, it's starting to look a little bit better for them, as long as you're a patient Delhi player. That's going to be the key. But now, falling back from this position, we see that wall never went up. You know, I suggested a nice little wall, or talked about a nice little wall, that would have run across those two. That would definitely help out. But now we hear relics getting picked up as well. Only one sacred site. So, I mean, up until this point, Vortex has pretty much done everything textbook, with the exception of denying berries or denying hunt. I mean, even then, he's still doing that pretty well. Like, we've got farm transitions going on. So Puppy Paw, you know, he's doing an impressive job to be able to hold it together despite this. But I suspect we're going to have continue to see more lances being popped out now. A little bit of a counterattack back towards the base of Vortex as well. Vortex nowhere near aging up at all. It definitely seems like he's heavily invested in this feudal age victory. And now the clock is ticking for him, because it's only a matter of time until Puppy Paw's upgrades for Age 2 start ticking in, and we can see that they are well and truly on the way. Decarbonization going to be coming through shortly, but keep in mind there is only that one blacksmith, so he's not going to be getting those super great double upgrades. But now, huge, massive lances, absolutely massive amount of lances coming through. These guys have got +1, so they're going to be taking 1 damage from these archers. Lancers moving in now. Puppy Paw looking to try and close out this game right here. You can tell by the way that he moves. You can tell by the way he walks. You can tell by the way he walks. He is intent on just moving through, pushing through. Those spearmen going to be continuing to come up, yet to receive their veterancy just yet. It's going to take some time before they do, but continuing to kite away. And now Vortex is starting to look like he might be in a little bit in trouble. We can see 37 villagers back home on food. He's under siege. Look at this. Another raid coming through. The horseman just being a bit of a memer. But still we see more knights coming in. Puppy Paw, got to be careful here, as all of a sudden Vortex is looking a little bit better, a little bit healthier. Looks like he might be going towards the base, or rather, yeah, he's trying to distract him, trying to send these units up towards that north side, but now all of a sudden Puppy Paw looks like he might be in a bit of danger. Failing to wall up over on these these two flanks has meant that he hasn't been able to secure this food. It means that he's had to go into farms earlier. It means that he's had to really try his best to hold on for his life here. And that's exactly what we see. Hopefully he's able to get these knights back around and get them healed up, or these lancers. You can see that they're on very low health. Scholar down towards the south, going to be looking to capture up the sacred sites. He might even look to pick up reinforcements here, but he might actually be picked up if he's not careful. Yeah, one lancer going to be going down. He's going to be careful. And now more and more lancers beginning to build up. We'll take a look and see what the count is for him. He's got 9 lancers at the moment, so not a bad amount. Definitely by no means a shy amount. But Puppy Paw, villager count, 52, 56 for Vortix, so basically a non-existent villager difference between these two, because do consider that the lumber camp for Puppy Paw has got those upgrades in. More units continuing to come out. Vortix is looking to try and put the pressure on, and now all of a sudden our French player is looking like he might be in a bit of a better position. Now all those archers on the backside going to be barely scratching the knights. Now trying to hold on to a bit of a defense here. We do have owned blades that is still yet to come in. When it does, the damage is going to be really starting to ramp up here. Back behind it, we hear more units just attacking, just chilling out. A little bit of a raid up towards the north. This isn't good for Vortix. This isn't good for Vortix. Wake up, Puppy Paw. Wake up, Vortix. There are multiple. Oh my lord! He's just gone straight for the villagers that were in the outpost. That could have been terrible. That could have been really bad. That could have been game-endingly bad. But now up towards the north, we can see Spearman going to be coming out here as well, looking to try and get in on it. And you can see how low the 1 health on that bad boy, 15 health on that. He's going to try and get them away. But now villagers on the other side of the map going down. Vortix looking to try and take some revenge over on this side. More knights going to be coming out now. Going to be having a pretty decent charge there. He continues to fall back, though. Spearman slowly getting mixed in for Vortix. This is exactly what he needs. Big raid up towards the north. I say big raid. It's just going to be knights taking out Spearman. Nothing too exciting. But those villagers going to be moving back out there with the assistance of Spearman. And now on the same side at the front, we continue to see Vortix is going to be making a move away. But at this point in time, you really got to favor. I would definitely favor the position of Puppy Paw, 100%. Look at the numbers that he's got out here. This is starting to get a bit ludicrous, and this is just what's so difficult to deal with, because you don't have crossbows available to you as the French. It's just gonna mean there's diminishing returns on your own knights, because they're nowhere near as good as the lancers, because these guys are castle age versus the feudal age. But now those knights, those lancers, going to be coming in. We'll enter into the cinematic mode as we begin to witness the fight of our lives right here. You can see the archers trying to get in on there, but now going to be looking to pick off. You can see just the difference, and I don't even think they've got their extra health. I'm 99% sure they don't have their extra health, and that's really what cost them their life. But despite that, we can see that the sacred site is going to be remaining in Puppy Paw's hands. More spears going to be trying to come in, but also see lancers coming in from behind. Vortix is in absolute shambles right now. He's running back towards his base, but he's got nothing that he's running there for. He doesn't have a second town center. He doesn't have absolutely anything going for him. I don't even think he's made his farm transition yet. Let's take a look over at the base. He's barely making his farm transition at the moment. How many farms has he got? Let's take a look. He's got 9 farms. He's got 9 farms. So it is a very tough spot for him, and he's going to be trying his best to hold on. You can just see, units are coming out over time, but there's just so many knights, so many lancers to try and to be dealt with, and their upgrades have come through now, and good game does get called. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this casted game, make sure you go check out EGC TV. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch all the Golden League action. 15 GMT, Saturday, Sunday. And let's take a look at some village accounts, because there were some pretty insane raids that happened in that game. Yeah, up towards the north. So we saw that Puppy Paw was just doing absolute work over there. But yeah, there you go. As I suspected, look, this is in my opinion, a favored matchup for the Delhi. The shoe is definitely on the foot for the French. If they want to make something happen, they're really going to have to do it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.